of questions in the last 20 years. I forgot to introduce my good friend and colleague in the domain that we are working in, Mr. Ponchandran and his wife, Dhanalakshmi Amma. They are social workers, social activists, and they are people shy to the camera. So I feel bad to ask them to face the camera.
Thank you.
So he used to be a branch manager for State Bank of Travancore, Araspuram branch, when I was a current businessman in the 90s, early 90s. I had a shop in Araspuram. I had 12 STD booths in Coimbatore. I paid bribes left, right and center to get the STD booths. I had a travel agency. I had taxis. We paid bribes to the RTI office. And the day I found that it is also possible to live a current-free life in India, I stopped. I didn't question that I have to have these two horns, or I have to have courage, I have to have an extra 7 sense. When I came to know that it is indeed possible that we can also live bribe-free, I stopped it. And I don't want to claim that my living in America changed me, but going to America and living there for 10 years definitely gave me the optimism. If white-skinned Americans having the same 6 senses, having the same 24 hours a day, can deal with clean governance, why can't we? Aren't we smart enough? Aren't we intelligent enough? Aren't we bold enough? We are a land of so many proud things. We talk about all the time, chess was invented in India, Aryabhatta, and all these things, zero was invented. We all have this all false pride. How is it benefiting this generation and the recent past and the future generation? Farmers are committing suicide. Weavers are committing suicide. People are getting everything. I don't want to say anything. The rape case in Delhi, is that the only rape case? Why is the whole of the country going in euphoria for like 1 month after one rape case? How many of you know the JP movement of the 70s? The Jayaprakash Narayanan movement of the 70s. How many of you know about it? This is where the problem of the country lies. We don't know our history. It is not about courage. There is a land of Bhagat Singh and Netaji, so let us not worry about courage. I think we are all there. Netaji and Bhagat Singh were not born Netaji and Bhagat Singh, right? They were all same 5 feet 4 inches or 6 feet 5 inches human beings born in this country, and they all got their names because of what they did, not what they did not do. When there were 30 crore Indians living in the country at that time, Bharatiyar on the part of the 30 kodi Mugamudaya. Out of 30 crores, how many people do we remember? 100 people? If we start going in circles and start naming names of the freedom fighters, we won't cross 25 or 30. You know why? Because those are the ones who did it, came to the forefront and did it. And there are lakhs of people who followed them. And there are lakhs who did not follow. They were just doing their rotis and sabjis. But they also got the independence because these few lakhs toiled. That is all we need. We do not need the 125 crore Indians to suddenly stop paying bribes. We just need that 1% critical mass in Coimbatore, 1% in Tamil Nadu, 1% in India. If that critical mass is formed, then the remaining 9% will follow suit in the first 10 years. This is how everything has happened in the world. Martin Luther King's civic resistance movement, Mahatma Gandhi's freedom struggle, Google, Apple's iPhone, all of this have adopted the same technique. 1% critical mass. You strive to get that. And that is what we are doing. We have been functional for the last 7 years. We have still not got that 1% critical mass. We probably have 1.5 lakh people who are connected with Fifth Pillar and know what we do and are watching what we do in different ways. The internet, the website, Facebook, Google groups, various ways, people are watching only 1.5 lakh people, and that is not even 0.0001% of the population, right? So the day we reach 1% critical mass, I'm not talking about just Fifth Pillar, I'm talking about his movement. They are representing a movement called People's Union for Civil Liberties. So they are key people in the Coimbatore chapter of People's Union of Civil Liberties. Shortly it is called PUCL. You can Google PUCL, you can find out what they do. They are doing the silent revolution for years. So there are some gentlemen and ladies in Chennai that I know. I know what they do. So we respect them for what they do. If several such individuals and coalitions of individuals and NGOs and civil society organizations come together then the tipping point comes. Then it will be uncool to pay bribes. It will be uncool to talk like that. It is now cool because 99% is talking like that. The lakhs of people that came to the streets during Anna Hazare's call, everyone stopped paying bribes. Or did they think it is a cool thing to wear a cap saying, I am Anna? Do you think all the Indian citizens that wore the cap, I am Anna, do you think they all stopped paying bribes? Do you think they all stopped beating the red light? Do you think they all stopped trashing the streets, littering on the railway station platform, drinking coffee in a paper cup and throwing the paper cup outside the window? So corruption is not just the money that you pay in the government and taking the bribes. Like you said, you rightly said it, it's the conscience. And we have to be conscious to our freedom fighters. If not for them, we would not be sitting in a cushy classroom like this and learning management. We will all be still struggling. Our parents would not have made their careers and we would not be getting an education like this, if not for our freedom fighters. So let us come back to the point.
I beat my passport, sir. I was like roaming for about 2 months to get my passport done. I went with all my documents inside the passport office. They asked me for my birth certificate. And my mom's name was CP Shobhamani, and there was this mistake in my birth certificate that it was GP Shobhamani. And they started questioning me for that.
Sure.
And this was one of the main reasons why they rejected my application.
Do you have any written communication with the passport office?
In the sense, I didn't understand.
Have you written a letter to the passport office?
No, sir.
That is the problem.
But
can I ask the name?
Silesh.
Silesh, the first step of solving this problem in India is stop talking to government officials with your mouth. Stop it. Write letters and pinpoint dates, time of your visit to the office. Ask for the name of the official. You will find magically things work differently. And I am not imagining this, I am not fantasizing this. This is from the last 7 years of our practical experience, and this is not just my experience. This is experience of thousands of people who have done it, and that is what we are going to see in the RTI presentation.
Sir, if I had gone that way, I'm basically a middle family guy, sir. And if
I am too. My parents are just teachers.
Exactly, sir. If I had gone the way which you right now told me, I would have actually lost a lakh rupees.
No.
And I would have missed going.
I'm sorry, I may sound like I'm rude, but you're wrong. You're very wrong.
So I don't.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. My niece who lives in a. Let me answer the side. My niece who lives in a village in Salem district. Her mom wanted to visit her in Singapore. So her mom wanted a passport. My niece is in Singapore. So her mom wants to go. So she is illiterate. My niece's mom is illiterate. My sister cousin is illiterate. So she came to the Coimbatore passport office, and then she has also encountered the same problems as you. She contacted our office, and we told her what exactly needs to be done, like I am talking to you. She went the next day. She got the passport in 4 days. She was waiting for a month or more than a month. They were disrespecting her because she was illiterate. They were saying, they said exactly the same thing that they asked you. They will do it. They have been doing it for 60 years. We are running because the dog is chasing. You ask the dog will say, I am chasing because you are running. You stop running, the dog will stop chasing.
That is my point, sir. How could they actually question me over my mom's name on my birth certificate?
They have the right to question. You have the right to. You are entitled to show the proof. They have the right to question. What if you are a terrorist and you are giving a fictitious name and there is a confusion and they doubt you? Don't you want the terrorist to not get a passport in the Coimbatore passport office?
Sir.
So it is their duty to scrutinize your documents. If your documents are not in place, you have the right to prove it.
And my way of actually questioning them made me actually lose my the application. They rejected it, and I had to again apply
That is because you are questioning verbally.
And how I got it, I bribed them. And that was one I totally accepted.
Too bad for you, Nilesh.
Sir,
I'm saying you could have saved your money.
If I had not bribed them, I would have actually lost 1 lakh rupees.
No, that's a misconception.
It's not a misconception. I have to get the passport done.
So I don't want to argue with this, Nilesh. So I will agree. You would have lost 1 lakh rupees.
Exactly, sir.
So, are you happy now? Are you happy? Okay. Now I will tell you how he could have got. If Silesh was willing and open-minded, how he could have got the passport without even 1 rupee bribe. at the end of the presentation. I don't even have to say, you will find out how. All you have to do is take a one plain sheet of white paper and put your from address, put a to address. The first line should be the public information officer, regional passport office, Coimbatore, and the PIN code, and say, seeking information under the Right to Information Act. Question number 1. What are the documents that are required to obtain a passport in India? Question number 2. What is the name of the official who is responsible to issue passport for me living in the above address? Question number 3. What is the date I will receive my passport at my home address, and you will get it within 21 days. The Citizens Charter of India entitles every Indian citizen to be provided with a passport in 21 days. Sailesh was ignorant of the act, so he paid what? You paid 1 lakh?
I paid 1 lakh for the trip.
Oh,
I paid half of the amount as a car.
50,000 rupees for a passport?
Yes.
You must be wealthy, very wealthy man.
Not because
You need to help our organization. But I don't believe you. Anyway, that's fine. 50,000 is too much. I know people.
Sir, if not for the
I shouldn't be saying this in a fifth grade forum. I know people who would have helped you for 3,000 rupees.
1.5.
Okay. You said half of it. You said I said 1 lakh. So anyway, if you filed this right to information petition, you would have got it in 21 days, because that is what the Citizen Charter says. If you didn't get it in 21 days, there is another section in the Indian Penal Code called dereliction of duty. We could have removed that passport officer from his job for just not doing his job. We are just ignorant of the laws. We are not willing to learn about the laws. I am not asking you to learn all the laws of the Indian Penal Code. But if you are going to a ration card issue, how many of you know which is the office to go to obtain a ration card? So this, I'm not taking it personally, right? I'm just going with the flow. This ignorance is the reason for those hyenas and foxes taking your hard-earned money. I know your grief, but your grief should not be shown by just paying it off and getting away, because you are feeding the beast, and your children and your fellow Indians are going to be victimized because of your act. In Tamil they say Rusikanda Pune. பூனைக்கு இந்த பால் ஊட்டி ஊட்டி வளர்த்துக்கிட்டே இருந்தா ருசி கண்டுட்டு தான் இருக்கும். சூடு வச்சா நின்றும். சூடு வைக்கிறதுக்கு சைலேஷ் தயாரா இல்லை. You have to keep the milk hot. If you did it, that passport officer will be scared. When a Tahsildar gets arrested for taking bribes, you know what we do? His name comes in a newspaper. Some of our coordinators have taken photocopies of the Tahsildar getting arrested and mailing it to other Tahsildars in the district. So they all get scared. We know, and I completely agree, that it is very nasty at this point of time in India. But we need to clean up. That is all I'm saying. It is stinking, but we need to get into the sewage and clean it. And there are methods of cleaning it. There are practical alternatives. There are thousands, tens of thousands of people in India who are already doing it and started doing it. We see them all the time, every day. When that person can do it, why not Sailesh? That is all the question. We are not saying overnight all of us can do it in one day. That cannot happen. Because your psychology is already psyched to pay bribes and justify paying bribes.